Somebody asked me, how will you know when this project is done and when it's a success? And my answer to that was, we'll know it's a success when I can sit behind one of these buildings with friends in conversation and somebody will serve us drinks. That will be a win. And 2 years after we started, we did just that.
My name's Todd Thompson, and for about the past 7 or 8 years, we've been working on the revitalization of downtown Pekin. Pekin is my hometown, and the project really started when I realized how bad a shape my hometown had become. The historic business district was blighted. We had about a 72% vacancy rate. The community had what was once their prized jewel of commerce, and it had become really an embarrassment. I kind of quit being from Pekin. So when I talked to somebody about my hometown, I would just say I was from Central Illinois. I really quit being from Pekin because of the shape it was in. And I realized probably some maturity on my part, but realized that you can't quit being from somewhere. But what I could do is do something about it. I could change the town, if only one building at a time. And so I called Steve, who's my partner, and I said, what do you think about doing something in Pekin? What if we bought some buildings down there and started fixing up the downtown? And I think he laughed and said, there's no way.
When we got here, it was vacant. The people that did work here went home, the city went away. And just trying to save some of those treasures and some of those memories. A lot of these buildings have a tremendous amount of history, and a lot of them are tied back to a lot of the families that are still here in Beacon.
In our inventory, we found that there was a very high density of blighted buildings in the 200 block, and that's where we started. It was terrible. The backs of the buildings were full of cars and mattresses and dead pigeons and raccoons, and it was really rough. So really the premise behind From Vacant to Vibrant is replacing the old practice of acquisition and demolition with a new practice of stabilization and occupation. We not only stabilize our buildings to be long-term sustainable buildings, but we also build entrepreneurs out of the local community to be long-term sustainable tenants. The spirit of entrepreneurship in the United States is alive and well. And what I mean by saying that is, when we created a canvas for the local entrepreneurs and local startups to paint on, they showed up with their brushes and paint. Every time we've had a building available, people knock on the door and want to know how can they engage, how can they be involved, what's it mean to lease. And what we found is we can build a business around anything that somebody is passionate, knowledgeable, and willing to work hard at. And so we didn't set out to be entrepreneurial coaches, but that's become a big piece of what we do. It's really kind of become a no-brainer that our process works, our process opens doors in blighted districts, our process has a very positive impact on the taxing districts, on the community, on the city staff. We've created markets where there were none. Seeing the positive impact this has and has had in our community, we're really looking for anybody else who has a community that's not operating at its potential. We'd love to share what we do with you.